Hi there, my twinnies. It's your favorite twinful twin, Tasha, and I am touching base. As most of you know, I am currently in North Carolina helping my family continue to go through my mom's estate and her possessions and trying to get things dialed in. It has been 10 months and 13 days since she passed away, and today I was able to sort through some of the paperwork. Monday, we went through her closet. Hi there, Maria. Hi, Barbie. Thank you so much for popping on. This is awesome. Oh my gosh, there's so many people popping on. This is great. So I flew out last week and was blessed to get to spend some time with my older sister in her apartment, and she decorated her guest room for me. No, she decorated her guest room for herself, but it was awesome for me. I was super comfortable there, and got to spend a few days with her. And then on Monday, we came down to my dad's apartment that used to be my mama's nest, still feels like my mama's nest. And on Monday, we dug into my mama's closet and dresser, and I cannot count how many times I have broken down crying. Many different reasons. It isn't just sadness. There's been a ton of gratitude. We laughed. We did. We laughed. There were things that made us laugh really, really hard. But the process has been, this huge roller coaster. In some cases, it's been just a huge, huge blessing just to gain all the clarity and perspective. And then in other cases, it's been incredibly heart-wrenching. And it's just been crazy. So today we were going through a bunch of the paperwork in the process, and I decided that I needed I just needed a little bit of space, because I'd been so emotional and so supercharged with feelings around everything that was going on. And I walked into the hotel, and there was another person that walked up behind me, and I pushed the little elevator button, and both elevators opened at the same time. And the gentleman was like, "Oh, look at that, 2 for 1. That never happens." And I said, "Honey, I'm a twin. It happens all the time for me." Just by the way. So that made me giggle, which is, I so desperately needed to giggle, because so much of my day has been consumed with sorting through paperwork from my mom's medical bills. And again, she's been gone for 10 months and 13 days. So it's a long time. There was just a lot to deal with. I have been surprised at my level of emotion, because I consider myself a pretty, I feel like I've been very well equipped, much more so than a lot of folks, with dealing with grief and all of that, because my twin passed when I was so young, and I've had so many people pass in my life. It has been crazy to me. Like, no matter how prepared you think you are, all the skills that you think you have, there are times when the physical experience, the human emotions that we go through, no matter how conscious our soul is, our body reacts. It just reacts. My eyes leak a lot. I've always been a sensitive person. I think that's part of the blessings of being a twin. But my eyes have been leaking a lot the last few days. So, but here's the cool part about all of that. There has been some amazing insight that has been revealed through this experience. When I was younger, my mom had a really, really hard time after my twin passed, of course, expectedly. And so she got us into an environment where there were a lot of other folks that were able to help take care of us. And there was a blessing that she had a support network of folks that were willing to help her. But there were some experiences that happened with that she wasn't aware of. that were extremely challenging for me. She didn't know that one of the caregivers had told me that if I didn't stop crying for my mom, that I'd never get to see her again. I was just a child, you know, I was only like 10 or 11 years old when that happened, and my mama didn't know. You know, she was doing the best she could because she was processing her own grief. And I think the part that's really hit me hard going through this process right now is that it doesn't matter how much I cry for my mom now. She's in heaven with my twin. And that's a blessing, you know. The cool thing about back then is that I did ultimately get reunited with my mom, and I did get to see her again, and I had an amazing 3 additional decades to enjoy her and grow our relationship and heal from all of the pain that we faced as a family. So I'm grateful for that. But it's a process. It's a process. And as I've been going through all of this, all of that's been coming through. Thank you, Georgina. I love you too, sweetheart. You are such an encouragement to me and my family. So thank you. So as I go through this process of recalibrating me and cleansing out, you know, as we went through her possessions, I found pictures of my family that I didn't even know existed, and generations past, and little things. I found a purse that was a little tiny wallet thing that was a tapestry, but it was my great grandmother's. I think it was my 3rd great grandmother. And inside of it had this adorable little rouge. It was like this big, literally this big. And you opened it and had this little tiny little rouge pad on it that you could put. It was so cool. It was so cute. The process of sorting through her hope chest, the process of seeing pictures, all the emotions that rise, and getting on top of that wave and riding with it. I spent a few days at Emerald Island with my sister and another twin of ours, Gail Tudor, part of our group. Amazing soul. If any of you have an opportunity to visit her at her beach house, I would encourage you to do so. We went out into the Atlantic Ocean. I haven't done that since I was little, 9, 10 years old. We walked out into the Atlantic Ocean till it was well above our waist. And as the waves came in, we would rise with the ones that weren't as big as other ones, and we would dive under the ones that were big. And my sister started talking to me about the analogy of life, and how there are these waves of experiences, and there are times if I turned my back, I would not see what was going to hit me in my life if I turned my back to the waves. But if we have the courage to face them, we can see them barreling towards us, and then we can make a decision. Are we able to rise above? Or sometimes, if they're so big and it's so overwhelming, that we dip down below. And when we dip down into that quiet, still place, that big old wave just rolls right over the top of us. Doesn't knock us down, because we made the choice to go down deep. We made the choice to sink below the chaos that we saw coming at us. And we let it just roll right over us. And we pop back up and watch as other waves come towards us. And in each moment we get to decide, are we going to rise above it? Or are we going to go into that quiet, still place? But in either case, the waves continue to come. They will pass us. My sister's brilliant. I told her, I said, I need to share that with the twins. Like, they need to hear that. That's a really good analogy. And she's like, yeah, Dad taught me that when we were little. We used to come out and hang out in the waves. That's one of the things that I do love about my parents, is that they've always been very instrumental in instilling wisdom into us, their perspective about our lives and life in general and how to handle it. It's a process. I have known my whole life that someday my mom would die. Like, I've known that my whole life, right? We've talked about it all the time. I believe in life after death. I believe her soul is very present. I feel her all the time. Sometimes I hear her, not literally, but it feels like I hear her, and sometimes it feels like she's yelling at me. We're getting through it. On August 20th, it'll be her angelversary. And I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate her reunion with her family, her parents, and my twin. I want to celebrate her freedom from this life experience. She graduated. I want to celebrate. It's a process. It's a process. I love you all so very much. Thank you for always being an encouragement to me. I'm sorry I've been super quiet the last few days. It's been a lot. I think I've cried I've cried just as much in the last few days as I did when she first passed. It's like crazy, the amount I've been crying. But it is good, and I see the cleansing part of it. And I'm grateful that I'm in a space where I can cry. And I have such an amazing community of folks that support me. I love you all so very much. This is your favorite Twinful Twin, Tasha, as always. Even when I'm a crybaby, I know I'm still your favorite Twinful Twin, just by the way. And that is a huge encouragement to me. I love you all so very much. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day. Take care. Bye.